today we'll continue with The Merchant of Venice. We are in scene 6 of the play. So here we were told, enter the maskers Greciano and Salarino. So the maskers are the partygoers, and Greciano and Salarino come with the maskers. So Greciano says to Salarino, this is the penthouse under which Lorenzo desired us to make stand. So Greciano tells Salarino that they are under the penthouse or the balcony under which Lorenzo asked them to wait. When they're waiting for Lorenzo to arrive at Shylock's house, Shylock's daughter Jessica is going to elope with Lorenzo that night. So Greciano and Salarino have come to help them elope together. So they're waiting under Shylock's balcony, and Salarino says his hour is almost past. That is, Lorenzo is late. So Greciano says, and it is a marvel he outdwells his hour, for lovers ever run before the clock. So Greciano says it is something marvelous. It's a matter of wonder that he outdwells his hour, that he is late, because when we have a pair of lovers who met for the first time, they always keep time before the appointed time. So they are always eager to meet each other, and they're always, you know, they're always full of desire to meet each other. Salarino, oh, 10 times faster Venus's pigeons fly to seal love's bonds new made, than they are wont to keep obliged fate unforfeited. So here Salarino says that Venus, the goddess of love, who travels in a chariot drawn by pigeons, the pigeons fly 10 times faster to seal the bonds of love which are new made. So here the bond of love which is newly made is between Lorenzo and Jessica. So Salarino is saying that Lorenzo and Jessica should be more eager to meet each other, because Venus's pigeons fly 10 times faster to make new lovers meet than they are wont to keep obliged fate unforfeited. So obliged fate, those lovers who've known each other for some time, their meetings may be delayed, but the meetings of new lovers are always quick and very fast. They are very eager to meet each other. Greciano says, that ever holds. Who riseth from a feast with that keen appetite that he sits down? So here Greciano asks a question. If a person sits down at a feast, his appetite will be keen in the beginning, but towards the end of the feast, his appetite will have been satisfied. Similarly, lovers who are eager to meet for the first time will keep time, will meet before the appointed time than lovers who've known each other for some time. So Greciano asks another question. Where is a horse that doth untread again his tedious measures with the unbaited fire that he did pace them first? So if we have a horse that is setting out on a journey, the tedious measures, the long distances that he has to travel will be undertaken with more energy and enthusiasm in the beginning. So then the energy and enthusiasm that the horse has towards the end of the journey. So the horse begins the journey with much more unbaited fire or much more energy and enthusiasm than he has towards the end of the journey. All things that are with more spirit chased than enjoyed. So, in general, Greciano says that if anybody is after something, if anybody desires something, the chase the uh, or the attempt or to obtain that thing uh, has more energy than the actual getting of the thing. How like a yonker or a prodigal the scarf bark puts from a native bay, hugged and embraced by the strumpet wind. How like a prodigal does she return with over-weathered ribs and ragged sails, lean, rent, and beggared by the strumpet wind. So next, Graciano gives the example of a ship. A ship sets out from a native harbor, native bay, like a yonker or a prodigal. A yonker or a prodigal is a young man. Just as a young man is full of energy, the scarfed bark, that is the sailing ship, sets forth from her native harbor like a young boy who is full of energy. And the sailing ship, the scarf bark, is hugged and embraced by the strumpet wind. A strumpet is a harlot. So the wind doesn't blow in any one direction, it blows in mm, all sorts of directions all the time. So the wind can easily misdirect us. So the ship uh, may be carried away by the strumpet wind. So the wind embraces and hugs the sailing ship as it sets forth from a native harbor. But when the ship returns to the native harbor, what does she look like? She looks like a prodigal. A prodigal is a person who wastes his means. Whatever means he has, he wastes them. So the sailing ship returns to the native harbor with over-weathered ribs. So the sides of the wooden sides of the ships will be weathered and the sails will have become ragged. That is, they will almost have been torn to pieces in the on the voyage across the sea, and the ship will be lean, rent, and beggared by the trumpet wind. So the very same wind that makes the native that makes the ship set forth from a native port will easily take away all the energy of the sailors and the ship when they return. So what Gratian was saying is that lovers who meet for the first time are always full of more desire to meet each other than those who have known each other for some time. Enter Lorenzo. Salarino. Here comes Lorenzo. More of this hereafter. So Salarino says he'll say more of this sort of thing later. Lorenzo, sweet friends, your patience for my long abode. Not I, but my affairs have made you wait. So Lorenzo says, ask his friends to be patient because he's made them wait a long time. And he says that not he himself, but his affairs have made them wait. When you shall please to play the thieves for wives, I'll watch as long for you then. So Lorenzo says, when Graciano and Salarino want to elope with their future wives, then he will help them as they have helped him now. Approach. Here dwells my father Jew. So they go nearer to Shylock's house. Lorenzo calls Shylock his father Jew because Shylock is the father of Jessica with whom he's going to elope. And he calls out, Ho, who's within? Enter Jessica above in a balcony, on a balcony, dressed as a boy. So she has disguised herself as a boy so that she will not be discovered as they elope or they run away from Shylock's house. Jessica, who are you? Tell me for more certainty, albeit I'll swear that I do know your tongue. So Jessica asks him to identify himself with more certainty. Even though she recognizes his voice, she asks him to identify himself and tell her his name. So Lorenzo tells her his name, Lorenzo and thy love. And Jessica, Lorenzo certain and my love indeed, for who love I so much? So Jessica says that she has indeed, uh, she's indeed meeting Lorenzo, and she says that she doesn't love anyone as much as she loves Lorenzo. And now who knows but you, Lorenzo, whether I am yours? So Jessica asks him, if who else knows that she is his? Lorenzo says, Heaven and thy thoughts are witness that thou art. So Lorenzo tells Jessica that God in heaven is witness that she belongs to him and he belongs to her. And even her thoughts, Jessica's own thoughts, profess that Lorenzo belongs to her. And Jessica says, Here, catch this casket, it is worth the pains. So she throws him down a casket, that is a small box, jewel box, in which there are a lot of jewels which she's taken from Shylock's house. And she says that it is worth the pains that they're going to take. So it is a valuable casket. I am glad 'tis night, and you do not look on me, for I am much ashamed of my exchange. So and Jessica says that she is glad that it is night because he cannot see her in the guise of a boy. So, because she is ashamed of the, being dressed as a boy. But love is blind, and lovers cannot see the pretty follies that themselves commit. For if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transformed to a boy. So Jessica says, Cupid, the god of love, is painted as a boy who is blind. So, Cupid or love is blind, and the lovers themselves cannot see the small follies or the mistakes that they themselves commit for the sake of each other. If Cupid could see the follies that Jessica has made that night, Cupid himself would blush in embarrassment to see Jessica transformed into a boy, to see her wearing a boy's clothes. Lorenzo, descend, for you must be my torchbearer. So Lorenzo says, ask her to come down because she has to be his torchbearer. Jessica says, what must I hold a candle to my shames? So she asks Lorenzo if she must hold a light to the shames, that is, her being dressed as a boy. And should she hold a torch to show others that she is dressed as a boy. They in themselves, good sooth, are too light, why it is an office of discovery, love, and I should be obscured. And so, um, uh, she says that she's feeling very ashamed. She's feeling too lightheaded for being dressed as a boy. She's feeling so ashamed. And she says that they might be discovered and that she should be obscured or hidden. Lorenzo, so are you sweet, even in the lovely garnish of a boy. But come at once, for the close night doth play the runaway, and we are stayed for at Bassanio's feast. So Lorenzo says, assures her that she will be hidden in the darkness, even though she's dressed as a boy. And he asks her to come at once because they are waited for at the feast of Bassanio. Jessica, I'll make fast the doors and gild myself with some more ducats and be with you straight. So Jessica says that she will fasten the doors, take some more ducats for herself, and meet him soon. Jessica exits above, so she goes into the house, gets some more ducats, and then come down to meet Lorenzo. La Greciano, now by my hood, a gentle and no Jew. So Lorenzo uh, feels consoled that she's going to elope with him, and he calls her a gentle, that is, he calls her a gentle Christian and not a hard Jew. Lorenzo, beshrew me, but I love her heartily, for she is wise, if I can judge of her. So Lorenzo says that he loves her heartily. He says that Jessica is wise if he can judge, and fair she is if that mine eyes be true. And if his eyes can see truly, Jessica is also fair. And she's and true she is as she has proved herself. So she has proved herself true to Lorenzo because she is going to allow for them. And therefore, like herself, fair, wise, and true shall she be placed in my constant soul. So Lorenzo says that he will think of Jessica as a wise, fair, and true maiden, and that is the way he'll think of her in his soul or in his mind. Enter Jessica below. What art thou come? On, gentlemen, away. Our masking mates are by this time for us stay. So Lorenzo asks the others, Graciano and Salerino, to immediately set forth to Bassanio's house because their masking mates, the partygoers at Bassanio's feast, stay for them or they're waiting for Lorenzo, Graciano, Salerino, and Jessica. All but Graciano exit. Graciano waits. Enter Antonio. Antonio enters. Antonio, who's there? Graciano. Signor Antonio? Antonio. Fie, Graciano. Where are all the rest? It is 9 o'clock. Our friends all stay for you. So Antonio says to Graciano that he asks them where are the rest of his friends, and he says that it's 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., and all their friends are waiting for them. No mass tonight. The wind is come about. Bassanio presently will go aboard. I have sent 20 out to seek for you. So uh, Antonio tells Cristiano that there won't be a party, there won't be a mass that night, for the wind has come around favorably for their voyage, and Bassanio will go aboard the ship soon, and Antonio sent out 20 people to look for Graciano. Graciano, I'm glad on it. I desire no more delight than to be under sail and gone tonight. So Graciano says that he's glad, he desires nothing more than to get on the ship and be gone to Belmont that night. So Graciano, Bassanio are all leaving, both are leaving for Belmont to woo Portia, who is the rich heiress of Belmont. So they exit. We'll stop there.